All right, so we're in week 2 of our fall prevention video workout series. You already went through week 1, which was balance and stability. Now week 2, it's all about the core. We're going to show you 5 exercises that you can do in the comfort and safety of your own home that's going to tax your core in a way to help improve stability in your spine and pelvis. It's also going to help improve proprioceptive strength, which is that fancy word we talked about again. Basically means how you can catch yourself better if you do fall, how you can react better if you do fall. Do your muscles contract the right way so you can tighten up and catch yourself before you fall? It's also going to give you better balance and just overall have better body functions. So when you do go out in the real world, it gives you the confidence that if something does happen, you'll be able to catch yourself before you fall and prevent serious injury. It's also going to help improve your flexibility having a stronger core, and the main thing, it's going to help reduce overall pain in your body, especially in the lower back and spine area, and overall inflammation, which is the number one reason we do this Fitness After 60 videos. So stay with us on this week 2, 5 exercises for your core coming up right now. All right, so real quick before we get started, you're going to need a gym mat and a stability ball and be close to a wall. That's it. Those are all the equipments you need. So let's get into the first exercise, which is going to be a lying ball knee tuck with crunch. Now, the first 2 exercises are going to be on the ground. That'll make it easier transition for you. So you're going to put your feet up on the ball. Your first way is just tucking it in and out, okay? Or you can crunch as you tuck it in and out. All right, so choose which position you want. Let's go ahead and get on the ground. We're going to get started, and I'll walk you through it as we're doing it. Ready? Toes flexed up, core nice and tight. We're going to bring that ball in, squeezing those abs, and bring it back out. Now, it's very easy as you're doing this knee flexion and hip flexion to not squeeze these abs. So make sure you're squeezing those abs when you're coming in and out. You can also add the optional crunch up while you're doing this. Now you're working your upper abs and your lower abs at the same time. Now, there's really no such thing as lower specific and upper specific abs. We have the rectus abdominis, and underneath we have that transverse abdominis, and then you have your internal and external obliques. This is going to focus on those first 2, which is the rectus abdominis and transverse. Very important for stabilizing your spine and your hips. Okay? And again, if your head gets tired doing this, you can put your hands behind your head, lightly, gently holding your head. Don't wrench your neck forward. I see that too many times with my clients. They're wrenching that head forward. All right. Okay. We're almost done here. Make this your last one. Perfect. And relax. Okay. So a couple of different options on that first exercise. The next exercise on the ground is going to be an arm opposite raise. Now I'm going to show you this on your knees, and then we'll also show you standing if you can't get on your knees. All right. So we're going to be in position. You want your shoulders right over top of your hands, your core nice and tight. This is a very common exercise, also known as the bird dog. We're flexing our toe down, extending up. Let's go and get started and bringing it in. Now you have the option of alternating your sides for 1 minute while you're doing this. Or you can do one side at a time, back and forth like this, for 30 seconds each side. So either way, you're just making sure you're keeping your core nice and tight. As you're bringing those arms in, you can place them down and then switch. Okay, just remembering to keep your core nice and tight and your hips level. You don't want to turn with your hips when you're doing this. A lot of times I'll see people have their hip drop. When they extend that leg, they drop their hip. So just be careful you're keeping your core nice and tight as you go through these rounds. Shoulders back. Now, again, if you have knee pain and you can't do it on the ground, we're going to show you how to do it standing. Okay? So real quick, just another option if you want to do it standing, you're going to bring one leg out and the opposite arm out, leaning forward a little bit. Now, this may challenge your balance, but that's exactly what we want to do. We want to strengthen your core and strengthen your balance to prevent those falls. So what I would recommend is if you don't feel comfortable doing that, do it against the wall, okay? So we're extending out and bringing it back in. Extending out and bringing it back in. I'm using the wall for support, okay? 1 and 2. Or if you want to challenge your balance and core a little bit more, try doing it without holding on to the wall. And again, you can do 30 to 60 seconds on each side of those if you have knee pain and can't get on the floor. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our third exercise, which is going to be a standing core twist on one foot or doing it on a heel toe stance. All right, so I'm going to start on one foot on this exercise, and then I'll show you the heel toe stance if this is too hard for you. So we're going to stand on one foot. We're going to keep our core nice and tight and our toe flexed up. This helps strengthen those shin muscles, which is very important because when we walk, we usually plant our foot a lot. So flexing that toe, getting that knee up as high as you can. It doesn't have to be that high. You can just raise it up like this if that's more comfortable for you. Let's get those arms straight out in front, and then you're going to twist to one side and twist to the other side. Okay? So we're doing a single leg core twist. You could do it on both sides. You can do 30 seconds on one, 30 seconds on the other, or 60. Okay, you can also do this heel toe stance, which is what I'm going to do with you guys today. The heel toe stance and twisting side to side. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to twist and twist. Now, most of your weight should be on that back foot, which is for me is my right foot. And again, you can do 30 seconds on each side, and then you can switch. This is just a less challenge. I wouldn't say less challenging. It's a more stable environment if you have trouble standing on one foot. Remember, you always want to keep that core tight. We're going to go ahead and switch feet now. Put the other foot back for 30 more seconds. Okay, so again, it's more stable, but still challenging those stabilizer muscles, still challenging that proprioception we talked about earlier, that body's ability to be spatially aware. Core nice and tight. I want to make sure that I'm not looking down at my feet when I'm doing this. Okay, don't look down at your feet because that throws your balance and your equilibrium up. Posture up nice and tall. Okay, we got 5 more seconds. And then relax. So again, if you don't feel comfortable doing either of those because your balance isn't quite strong, you can do it against the wall in a heel toe stance. And then you can twist open and then twist over, just using that one hand. Twist open and twist over. Again, switching your feet, you go the opposite direction. Okay? Twist open and twist over. Okay? And you're just using that wall to help you balance. All right? So there's a bunch of different options for that exercise. It's really good, again, for that transverse plane of motion, because a lot of times when we get injured, we're going through that transverse plane of motion. So that's basically when we're just twisting, doing those twisting movements. A lot of times when people are walking and they twist and pick things up and they lean forward, they throw their balance off. So it's very important to train in different planes of motion. That's why all these workouts have different planes of motion and to challenge you in all different directions. Okay, let's get on to the fourth exercise, which is going to be a wall plank. So I'm putting my elbows against the wall. My head is facing the wall. My chin is not tucked down. I'm looking right at the wall. My abs are nice and tight, and I'm on my toes. Okay, if you don't have the ankle flexibility for it, you can totally put your feet all the way down on the ground, but challenge your core a little bit more if you can by getting up on your toes. All right, now I'm squeezing my abs. My head is nice and forward on this position. Okay, and so what I'm trying to do is, at the same time I'm activating my abs, I'm squeezing my glutes, and I'm making sure I'm not arching my lower back, that's why I want to show you from this angle. If you're arching like this, that's not good. You want to make sure you're tucking your hips under, okay? So once you get in that proper position, we're going to do it for 1 minute. So let's go ahead and get started. Elbows shoulder width apart, okay? Squeezing those abs, keeping our head facing the wall, make sure our chin's not tucking down. If I want to make this exercise harder, I just come down further on the wall, all right? If I want to make it easier, I just climb back up the wall. All right. So we're squeezing those abs. You can spread your feet out if you want to make the core. If you want to make this exercise a little bit easier, if you want to challenge your core more, you can go more of a narrow stance. But everything in this is important. Every alignment is important on this exercise. And again, if you want to do it on the ground, you can totally do it on the ground. But this is just a great way to work those deep transverse abdominis and those deep intrinsic core stabilizers in your body, around your spine, around your hip, without putting stress on your knees or your elbows. Now, if you are okay with doing that, you can totally do it just on the floor. All right, so again, in the knee position, core is nice and tight, All right, we'll make sure we're not arching our lower back, or you can do the basic position on your toes as well. But I have a tendency to find that a lot of people as they age find that difficult to get in that position, and it puts a lot of strain on their shoulders and knees. So doing it against the wall is a really good variation of that exercise. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the fifth exercise, which is going to be a ball crunch with a twist. All right, so you're going to need the stability ball for this one, okay? We're going to sit on the stability ball, and I'll show you from a couple different angles on this. So you're going to walk out. That's right there. So many people walk out too far or don't walk out enough. What you're going to do is just walk out till it hits your lower back, and then you're going to lean back, and you should be pretty much parallel to the ceiling. That's the position you want to be in. My toes are nice and straight, okay? Now, I can have my hands across my chest or my hands behind my head when I'm doing this. As I crunch up, I want to twist a little bit. See how I'm twisting towards you? Again, that's that transverse plane of motion we talked about. Making sure all our core muscles are working in different planes of motion, different ways to move. Really taxing our internal and external obliques along with those other abs we talked about, the rectus abdominis and the transverse abdominis. So it really gets all of your abs together. If you have your hands behind your head, again, don't wrench your neck. Keep your eyes up on the ceiling, or you can keep your hands here. I find it easier to twist if your hands are here, but if your neck gets tired, you can totally use that. So let's go ahead and get in position. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, do this for 1 minute, sitting up and twisting side to side. Now, after you get through this first round of exercises, of all 5 of these exercises, try to do it again if you're not too tired. And if you get through that whole round and you're more of a moderate or advanced person that works out, try to go for a third round, because I guarantee you, you're going to tax your core doing all this. And these are all safe and low impact enough that you can do them every day. So for this second week on this video of the fall prevention series, we're working on core. Do these exercises every day, and you're one step closer to preventing falls, which is so very important as we get older. Okay, keep going. We're almost there. Feeling that burn. And relax. Good job. All right, so those are 5 exercises in our week 2 fall prevention program for people over 60. Again, do those every day. If you're confident enough in doing 3 times every day, then do it. But don't over push yourself. Try 1 or 2 rounds the first day, see how you feel, and then maybe go for that third round the third or fourth day during the week. But for 7 days, try to do it every day. And stay tuned for our other fall prevention videos in this series. They're going to be coming to you weekly. And always check out the other videos, the Fitafter60 and the Fitafter40 videos. And remember, be safe, be active, be healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.